Financial Masterminds TV. I'm your host, Jeff Tufford. Let's get started. All right, another quick note from FHA, and this time it's a good one. There was a new rule going into effect soon where you could not have more than $1,000 in open collections, and you could not have any disputed accounts on your credit in order to get approved for an FHA loan. And that rule was about to take effect, and now FHA has listened to the mortgage industry and they have retracted that rule, and it's no longer going to go into effect. So this is a big thing because a lot of people go in their credit and they dispute accounts, and FHA was saying, well, those accounts have to be taken out of dispute, and those rules we're going to make it very hard because it takes a little time to get stuff fixed on your credit report like that, to get stuff removed from being in dispute. And also, people could have had collections from 5-6 years ago that are still on there that totaled more than $1,000, and all of a sudden they were going to be excluded from getting a mortgage. Now FHA has fixed that, so those rules are not going to go into effect. So finally the FHA does something correct. Have your customers had this reaction lately to going through the mortgage process? Or maybe this one. Hopefully they don't say this.
I quit.
I'm sure you've had many customers recently who have been extremely frustrated with the process of getting a mortgage. Now, some of these things can be avoided, but really, lenders are asking for more documentation. They are asking for more stuff. They get some conditions and it leads to more conditions, and then those conditions lead to more conditions. So sometimes it can be helped a little bit with a good loan officer, but it's not something that can be totally fixed because underwriters are asking for more stuff. What they're looking for is the perfect loan. What is the perfect loan? Well, the perfect loan is something that where they've documented everything. You know, how many times a day your customer's gone to the bathroom. They want to document where every dollar that went into their bank account came from. It's pretty crazy, but there's an article from Forbes that kind of talks about this, and maybe you can give your clients a little bit of a heads up before they go into the mortgage process by sending them this article. I'm going to put the link on the page here, so check out the article, read it. I read it myself. It's a really good article, and you can get people kind of prepped for what they're going to do. Now for some more great news. You know, stats are looking good for the housing industry, and existing home sales are up 3.4%, which is the largest gain in the last 6 years. Housing starts are up 30% over last year. And realtor income has had the highest gain in 9 years. It's up 2.3%, and the median income for a realtor is $34,900. Now, of course, as the 80-20 rule says, 20% of the agents out there are making 80% of the money. And when you average it all out to get that median, you're going to put in a $300,000 person, a $60,000 person, a $10,000, a $18,000, a $24,000, a $2,000 person who's delivering pizzas on the side and doing real estate on the other side. I mean, you average it all out and you're getting $34,900. But you can be part of the 80 or part of the 20 on this. Now, NAR says the average realtor works 60 hours a week. Not the average realtor, but a realtor who works an average of 60 hours a week, they're around the $81,000 range. Now, when you figure that in with a couple weeks off for vacation, that's $27 an hour. So if you work 60 hours a week, you make $81,000, you're making $27 an hour. That's a pretty good living. So again, the people that are working those hours, that are putting in the time, that are working smart, they are making the big money. They are the 20%, and you can get there too. But it's not all about working the extra hours. If you can work smart and do some things that other realtors aren't, you are going to excel, and you can be one of the people in the 20% that's making 80% of the income. Speaking of doing something that other agents don't, working smarter and not harder to be in that 20% and make the money, here are some tips that can help you get your offers accepted, especially with short sales. So what you want to do is you want to come in with an offer that is market value. So what you can do as an agent is find 3 comps that are similar to this property and kind of figure out what this property should be worth, what it's going to appraise for, because if you go over the appraisal price, once the appraisal comes back, now you got to convince the short sale lender to accept a lower price for a house they've already approved. So you don't want to deal with that. And when you submit the offer, submit the 3 comps in your little chart that shows how you came up with that number. Okay? Secondly, you want to have a clean offer, which means you don't want to ask for the world. You don't want to ask for all kinds of stuff as far as the bank's concerned. You know, short sale companies, it just seems like short sale banks are only accepting 3% as the concession. So don't come in with 6, come in with the 3. You know, if you're doing a roll development loan with me, your customer can actually roll in closing costs as long as the house appraises anyway. So keep that in mind. Next, you can actually have the customer increase their deposit. That's going to help make your offer look strong. Get your customer to put their money where their mouth is. And now here's another key that you can do. You can have your buyer write a letter that says why they love the house, what they see themselves doing in the house, their dreams about the house, how their family's going to love it, how the school district is important for them, and this is a great school district, and have them write just a one-page letter that says all the reasons that they want to buy this house and what they see in their future with this house. This is going to go a long way to have your seller, the seller in the transaction, approve your buyer's deal. They're going to see a big EMD. They're going to see that the offer's not asking for the world, and they're going to see that you're being smart coming in with an offer that's where it's going to appraise out for the right amount. And then they're going to see the reasons that the customer wants to buy the house, and they're going to, hopefully, they'll see that there's a family that they can help by picking their offer. And you know what? I've heard of agents doing this, not around here, so you could be the first, but I've been told by an agent that he's done this and it's actually paid off, and he had an offer of $389,000 with a mortgage accepted over a $400,000 cash offer. Sounds too good to be true, but it's not. So be smart. Don't just work harder, work smarter. Use these tips when you're putting offers together. It does take a little more work, but it's going to make your offer look more professional. It's going to stand out above the rest, and you have a chance to help your buyers get the deal more times than not when you go above and beyond. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Show is over. I hope that you learned something. I hope you can take these tips and use them to your advantage and make some more money. Now look us up on Facebook, where you can see some other tips that we're throwing out there. That's www.facebook.com/masterminds. Now take this stuff, use it to your advantage, and get out there and sell some real estate.